So we will record, and I'll turn my camera off just so that I'm not distracting. Again, I do talk with my hands quite frequently. So this is how to improve your digital footprint in a virtual world. And we're going to go through, what does that mean? What does that look like for real estate? Where is my digital footprint, and what should my digital footprint look like? The goal is always in any marketing that we do to look like a polished professional. I always lean on the air of expertise over experience necessarily, only because I have seen newer agents come in, embrace some things, and really kind of go through the gate running. So it really doesn't matter where you are in your real estate career. These are really important things, especially I think as everything has turned to a virtual world. Everything is virtual now, just like we're meeting virtually right now. That, if we have access to that, where are people finding us as they're searching? What do we look like, and how consistent are we? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. So we do have this lovely, lovely PowerPoint that we will go through, and I'll kind of go through it, not quickly in essence, but just to review some of the places that you guys already know that you should be on. So digital footprint. I dare say it says 95% of home buyers, but really 100% of home buyers are using virtual home tours. They're looking on Google. They're researching everything on the World Wide Web. And people are also looking for the next real estate professional. So it's really important that when people Google you, they find your online profiles that are current. They focus on, again, experience or expertise. So I do need to update that. And areas where you do business that sets you apart from your competitors. Your digital footprint is, in essence, the why behind why someone would call you instead of the thousands and thousands of other real estate professionals in your area. So this was something that the marketing team did go through. Again, anything that I ever teach in any of my classes, these are merely suggestions. They're not anything that you're required to do to be affiliated with the company. They're just best practices that we have found through experience have worked very well in the past and continue also to work now. So we will go through detailed information of our digital footprint review, some recommendations, some helpful information, and then what are your next steps. So we do have our Agent In Touch website. I know you guys are all very familiar with your In Touch agent website and going through different examples, different things that you need to have. And I will send this out afterwards where you can go through and click a lot of the links. I know some of you are a little bit newer, so you have seen some of this information recently, and that's okay. I don't think that really, in essence, you can see it enough to just make sure that you are able to kind of soak that all in. There are some different examples here of different websites that you can visit to see what are people doing. The one thing that you want to make sure that you have consistently on every piece of your digital footprint is the same headshot. That is highly recommended. It's not required, but highly recommended. For example, if you have a headshot and you're wearing a blue shirt, when I find you on LinkedIn, or I find you on Facebook Business, or I find you anywhere on Zillow or Realtor.com, I want to easily identify you. I want to say, oh yes, that's the picture that I've already seen. And although we think something that simple wouldn't help us brand ourselves, it really does. When they find you somewhere else and you're wearing a different color shirt, or for the ladies, you have a completely different hairstyle, sometimes you look different. So we want to always present as that polished professional. We're consistent. And the fact that they found us everywhere, we want to make sure also that we look like our headshot. For those of you, we want people to swipe right, and then when they meet us, we want to be consistent with what we've presented online. The same goes for any content, for any of your pages, your social media links. So every time I click on a social media link to get to your Facebook business page, if I click from Zillow or Realtor.com or your In Touch website, I should be going to the same business page. Same thing with Coldwell Banker Homes and ColdwellBanker.com. So Coldwell Banker Homes is our Mid-Atlantic region. We have Maryland and DC and Virginia, that metro region, and then also Coldwell Banker Homes. ColdwellBanker.com, which is the entire world. So we also want to make sure that we have all of our contact information in CB Homes admin. So that is reflected as well, including our website link, our bio, and as you get up and running, awards, testimonials, and things of that nature that you have in your arsenal of, marketing know-how. And video is another one that is seems to be the bone of contention with a lot of people. I don't like video. I don't want to be on video. That's something that you can get to later. Maybe you don't want to be on the video, but just having a video. It could be a Coldwell Banker commercial, just something of that nature, as well as on ColdwellBanker.com. And again, that will feed through CB Homes admin, and that's a tile that's in your desk. We have Zillow. Anybody that knows me knows I have a love-hate relationship with Zillow. I always say, if I hear my mom one more time tell me about her Zestimate for her house, I will scream. It is a necessary means to an end. We have to be on Zillow. Everyone's on Zillow. People are using Zillow frequently. So what happens, I sat with an agent that's been in the business for 35 years, and we went into Zillow, and I searched her on Zillow, and nothing came up. I mean, her headshot came up from about 10 years ago, and her name. She had no bio. She had no listings. She had no sales. Now, this woman has 35 years of experience. She's a very good real estate agent, but I would have never chosen her on Zillow based on what she presented. She didn't look like a polished professional. So it is important to have your contact information, again, that same headshot, links, your website, these things. And we also want to get reviews on Zillow. As much as I don't like Zillow, I do think that the reviews are very important and almost essential in building business, because it is where everyone goes. It is where all of the agents live. It's important to stand out from your competitors, who are the other agents. So you'll see here some examples of some really great profiles. So Realtor.com, that's another one. And again, I will always warn you, Zillow and Realtor.com, they will come at you and come at you hard, because they want you to pay. They want you to be a premier agent. They want you to pay for leads. That isn't something that's necessary. So that is something that you can look at your marketing plan, your business plan. Is this something that you want to invest in? How do you go about that? And if it is, there are some other agents that I can put you in touch with that use these services, and I can also help you with them as well. But just knowing that it is free. Everything that I'm sharing with you is free to do. It's free to be on Zillow. It's free to be on Realtor.com, and to just put your information in there to reach as many people as possible. Because remember, when someone recommends me to sell real estate, so I have a lot of different spheres of influence. I have my karaoke group, or I might have a car club group, or I might have a church group or a gardening group. I have my friends and family, like I have the PTA. I have my foot dipped in a lot of different things, and they're all very different people. So while I might be friends with somebody in the karaoke aspect, they might be out somewhere else. Maybe I have a lot of friends that I go to karaoke with that play pool, and I don't. They're on Pool League. And I had a friend that was at Pool League, and somebody was talking about buying or selling a house, and he referred me. So what is the first thing that person did? He looked me up on his phone. He Googled me. He wanted to see who I was. What did I look like? Who was I? So I want people to be able to find me on Realtor.com, on Zillow, on all of the professional places, on LinkedIn, so that when they're finding me, they're finding good, valuable content. They can see who I am, and they can get in touch with me first and foremost to buy or sell property. Homes.com is another very popular website. Again, none of these are required, but just extremely highly suggested. And then LinkedIn. I feel that this is the social media part that everybody kind of doesn't see the point in. I was one of those people at a point. I don't really see the point, but it is my digital resume. And this is something where I have LinkedIn, I have my photo, I have a background photo, I have a very thorough resume and a very good bio, and I have a video or two, and that's it. I don't go onto LinkedIn and post like I do on Facebook or Instagram. Now I can, and I have some friends that do, some friends that aren't even on any other social medias. But what it does is it helps me stay connected on a professional level. And it's also easy for someone to find me on LinkedIn. So if somebody wants some information about me, they can search me on LinkedIn, they can find me, and they can get that information and connect with me. So all of this is important because the more that people search for us, the more that we're found. We want to be found on Google. We know that if we go into Google right now and we research Bel Air real estate, Timonium real estate, Frederick real estate, what are we going to get? We're going to get the Coldwell Bankers and all of the Long and Fosters and the Keller Williams and all of the places, because they pay big money. That's why Coldwell Banker comes up in the search, because they make sure that they are putting the keywords in and the things that need to go in to pull us to the very top of the search ranking. We have, different ways that we can do that as agents as well. Having unique and updated content on our website, community information, blogging, whether you're pro or not, there are ways to blog, even if you're not pro. Videos are the hot thing right now. And the reason that videos are hot is, where do most people find videos to post? From YouTube. And Google owns YouTube. So of course, Google is going to be really excited anytime that you take anything from YouTube. That's why I always suggest, as well as you're building your digital footprint, although we don't go over it too much in this class, getting a YouTube channel and just learning how to post your videos to YouTube really boosts you in that search result, and in that ranking with your search engine optimization. Also, your website authority. So does your site include specific terms? Now, I'm not saying just kind of coming out and saying, oh, Frederick County real estate. But as I'm describing, Jefferson in Frederick, Jefferson and the lovely town of Frederick, here is some real estate information for you. Or you can find, great, and a way I do this is I share the Prospect Square reports on my website. So here is some great real estate trend or real estate market information for the area of ... fill in the blank. If I can help you in any way, if you need help buying or selling your home, if you would like to get some more information about, mid-Atlantic real estate or any real estate in your area, reach out to me. Everything that I'm saying is a conversation piece. It's very organic, but I'm still including some of those keywords that Google's going to pull when somebody's looking for buying a house or selling a house or real estate related searches. As you go along, you can also adjust the titles and the meta descriptions that are in your InTouch website. So you're not really able to do this too much on Zillow and Realtor.com, but the main component of your marketing should be, and usually is, your InTouch agent website. So you're able to go through that, and you're able to, again, include some meta descriptions. I know some agents are like, well, why, when you search me, does it come up Frederick Real Estate, or it comes up, Bel Air Homes for Sale? I don't like that. You're able in some situations to go in and actually change that so that it reflects how you want it to when it comes up on the computer. So we do have a lot of tools that will help you with your digital profile, your digital footprint. So of course, Desk is a very great option. There are a lot of prompts in there and checklists that help you with a lot of the important facets of your business. So there's business essentials, prospecting, things in the intranet that you can look at and read through. You can go in and favor things as well. There are exclusive marketing materials, and I bring those up because that's something that helps you have original content. So I can go into brand serve, I can find something, I can save it, and then I can create something new that I'm able to share out on social media. So for one example, and I'll show it to you in just a moment, is the small business shout out. So that's something that you're able to put out on social media. You can also share it to your page. It gives you really good content, and it's original content because you're the one that's determining which small businesses are you giving a shout out to. How often are you posting these? Are you tagging people? So one of the biggest things that I've shared on my Facebook business page is a small business shout out that I did on Friday to my friend who owns a hair salon. It's just her and another girl. They have a small space. They're very good with all of their COVID requirements and restrictions. And I posted it out. I tagged her, and she was able to share that on her page, and her friends were sharing it. And it was just great because guess what went with it? My business page information. And also, I know that now when she's doing hair and somebody says, hey, I saw you had that small business shout out, I know that she's going to turn around and be like, oh, that's my friend Angie. She does real estate. If you ever know anybody that wants to buy or sell, let me know. I would highly recommend her. Now, I'm a referral agent, so I still get money for that. But especially being a buying and a selling agent, that's huge. I want to maintain those contacts, and that's just one more way to help me do that. You can also go in and see some other things, our events calendar and all of those things. There is a very good section in Desk for the Educational Expo. So if you go into Desk, and I'll show you this in a moment, if you go into Desk and go into Education, you can go into the Educational Expo, and there are some really, really great presentations in there about your digital footprint and about, digital media influencers. What are their tips and tricks? What are some of their secrets? There are people that are out there that are killing it with social media, and they're getting business from it because their digital footprint, everywhere you go, when you look these people up, it's very robust. It's very full. I know how to get in contact with them. I know who they are as people. So as we move on, you'll see also Moxie Present. So that's where you can do a lot of your presentations. And again, making sure that your profiles are robust and complete everywhere, because then you can start interjecting some of that into your Moxie Present. I can do a listing presentation, and I can show you a long laundry list of different testimonials that I'm able to include. Well, where did they come from? They came from Zillow. If you were to tell me right now, hey, this person recommended me on Zillow, I'm going to go to Zillow and I'm going to double check that that's accurate. I'm going to go back from what you said, and I'm going to double check you. And I'll look, yes, you have been consistent. You have been honest. You are trustworthy. All of these other people would recommend you. So that's just a way that you can showcase some of that in your Moxie as well. In Touch, of course, that is your website. We can go in and we can put all kinds of information there, make it very robust and very full. And also with Prospect Square, taking the market and the area and the quarterly reports and sharing them out on social media, being very easily accessible, making sure that your profile is complete, that when I pull up that report, I'm getting all of your contact information. I've had several agents that have sent them to me, and I get their name and where they work. There's no contact information. There's no phone number. There's no email address. There's no social media icons. There's just nothing. So even if I want to get in touch with them, I don't know how. So that's why we do mention some of the core tools in Coldwell Banker that help you have a better profile online. And then there are just some resources here for some of those tools as well. So we'll kind of get out of our lovely PowerPoint there, and we'll jump back into Desk. So In Touch, I find, is the one that we usually start with. When you go into In Touch, and I'll go into mine just to show you as an example, you want to make sure that the information in your account is complete. I've worked with agents that have worked for Coldwell Banker for years, and we go in and they're astonished that, you know, their cell phone number is incorrect or they don't have a title. So if you log into InTouch, you'll see here at the top right-hand corner, we have our account, and then we have my account. And when you click on that, you're going to get into the main piece of where everything in InTouch pulls your information. Your marketing pieces will pull your information. Your website will pull your information from this area. So you can see here, I can go in and edit this information. I want to display my name. Please be careful. So this is used on your website and your marketing pieces. You can only include nicknames if they are on your license. For example, my name is Angela. I don't go by Angela. I don't even like Angela. I've always been an Angie. So on my real estate license, I paid the $25 extra, and I'm Angie on my license. If I was a buying and selling agent, I would then be able to put Angie on anything I want. I can put it on my contracts. I can put it on my paperwork. I can put it on my Facebook business page. I can put it on Zillow. Anywhere you find me, I can put Angie. If my license is Angela, then I have to do business by Angela. So my business always has to reflect what is currently on my license. And that's not a Coldwell Banker rule. That is a Maryland real estate law that we have to follow. So if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to shout out at any time. If you have any questions at all, I do have chat pulled up on my phone as well. Designations, we want to make sure that any designations that we have are in alphabetical order. We also want to make sure that we have this lovely little registered symbol. Anything, you can always go to NAR and search the designations there via Google. They will come up and you'll be able to see like ABR and SRES do have the little registered symbol. Now, some people have said, well, how do I get that registered symbol? If you have a keypad on your laptop or computer that has a numbers pad on the right-hand side, you can hit the Alt key and 0174 on that keypad will give you the little registered symbol. Now, the laptop that I have that I'm using right now does not have that. It's just a very small laptop. So you're able to actually Google registered symbol, and then I kind of just cheat the system and I go in and I copy that. So when I go in to put my title in, if I want to be a realtor, I want to make sure that that is in all caps. It is a registered symbol, and then I can paste and I can add that little registered piece to that. You're also able, if you are a salesperson, you can have your title as salesperson or associate broker. You do not need to have your license here. You can add that if you would like. And then your phone numbers, your cell phone, and your office. So this is something that's really important for your digital footprint as well. Contact methods that are available on your website. So if someone were to go to my website right now and they were to look me up, it's all my business cards. So here's my business card. Check me out on my website. And they want to contact me. You're going to see down here my preferred methods of contact available. I apologize, my face is so big right now. But you'll see here, I have different options that I can check. How do I want you as an agent to communicate with me as a lead, as a prospect, as a potential client? I can manage that here. So you'll see only what I have checked has come up. I can't have FaceTime. I'm an Android, so I can't have that. I don't use WhatsApp. I don't really prefer Skype, but I've used these other methods and I'm comfortable with them. If you're not comfortable with them, then you want to uncheck them. That's okay. It's okay if the only thing that comes up is text. No one will ever know. So I'm going to go ahead and take those designations out because they're not correct for me. And then
Angie, I'm sorry, just briefly, what is Google Duo? I don't think I've even heard of that.
So Google Duo is basically Google's answer to Zoom and Teams. It's basically the same thing. Anybody with a Google account or Gmail can go in and can create basically the same thing that we're doing right now. You can have a small room and you can go in. I'm only familiar with it. My church uses it. We do virtual Bible study. We do it through Google. So everybody basically like Zoom and Teams, you click on the link and you go in and turn on your camera and your mic, and it's more like Zoom than anything else.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, but I always like to point that out, because if it's not something that you're familiar with or that you're comfortable with, if it's not something where somebody says, hey, can you set up an appointment with me on Zoom? If you're not comfortable and don't know how to do that, don't check that. That's okay. That might be something that you aspire to, maybe something that you learn later. But if it is something that you offer, especially now that things are more virtual, and I won't even say it's the millennials, it's kind of all over the spectrum. My mom uses Zoom, and my mom would be mad at me if I said, she's in her 60s, she's almost in her 70s, and she likes Zoom. She uses it. She's good with it. So it's not even really an age thing. It's just, we're all on different spectrums of how we use technology, and it just makes us more easily accessible. So if you are familiar with these, definitely you want to put that out there and let people know. I dare say that you also want to put that in some of your automated email responses, maybe somewhere below your signature. Reach out to me, contact me via email, text, or phone. I can also meet with you via Zoom or Google Duo or Skype or whatever else you're comfortable with, because somebody might still not feel comfortable meeting with you in person for that first few meetings. And we want to have a good first impression. So that's what our digital footprint is. And we want to extend that as we go in and meet them in person. And sometimes in person is virtually in person. So you also want to make sure that all of your information here is correct. So you'll see your reply to email. That's on anything that you design in marketing, the campaigns that are sent out, the flyers that you print. I've noticed, and there's no wrong answer here. If you use your CRM email, that will be your InTouch. That means that if anybody emails, it will come in through your InTouch system, or I can say my external email and I can use that cbmove.com. Again, completely up to you, personal preference. You want to make sure that your office address is here, that you do have your realtor logo checked off. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to be a realtor, so I do not have that part checked, but we are equal housing, so we do have that logo as well. And a call to action can be anything that you like. Mine's always been kind of let's get moving, because I feel that that's, if you buy or you sell or what have you. Call to action could just be, contact me today, let's meet virtually, anything. And then you'll have your bio and your bio summary. So this is a very large part of your digital footprint. And I find a lot of agents, when you do get your InTouch account, if you go to the section and you notice that something is there and you don't know what it is and you didn't write it, it's probably the same thing that 94,000 other Coldwell Banker agents have. It's meant as a placeholder. So this is a really good opportunity to get with Design Concierge. They do have packages. You can have a very professional, polished bio written on your behalf. If you're not quite there yet, we can always sit together as well, and I can help you. I do have an English degree. So if it's something that you just want in the meantime, that's okay too. And you'll see that mine is kind of lengthy. I tend to talk a lot. I'm a very wordy person, so I did whittle mine down, but I start with what I do. So I'm a field marketing specialist. I'm in real estate. These are the areas that I serve. I take great pride in what I do. And then, here's my experience. So I have some experience in real estate. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I have experience out in the real world, as they say. I have an agent that said, well, I just got into real estate. I was in the Army for 10 years or 20 years. How does that experience contribute to your real estate business? Does it make you more meticulous? Does it make you more determined? Different aspects of that. And then I go into a little bit about myself. I went to Towson. I have an English degree. I have a music degree. I'm a singer. So there are different things that I've done as well in real estate. I've been in the business since 2004. All of these lend to why should you use me as a marketing professional, same as you would want to let somebody know why they would use you as an agent. And then in the bottom, I give kind of a lot of information about myself. I do a lot of charity work. So I'm invested in the communities that I serve. And that's really the whole point of putting that in there, is not to boast and say, hey, look at what I do and beat my chest. It's a way to let people know that you're invested in the community. And then always, I like the Me Too part at the bottom. What are things that you enjoy doing? Something about yourself that when you're not doing real estate, you really enjoy, because people are going to connect with you on a personal level as well. And then down here, you want to put your social media. Please note that anytime I talk about sharing your social media, I'm talking about business only. So this is my business page. I don't have an Instagram business page for myself, but I do help run one of the office pages, my LinkedIn, and then other blog. I threw in the Caldwell Banker blog because I don't blog. So those are 4 that I have included. I have not spread myself out yet to include anything else. Those are very time consuming in and of themselves. So I don't want to have Pinterest and Twitter and all of these things, and then I'm not consistent and I'm not posting. I want someone to find me on Facebook and know that I'm there every day. I'm posting every day. I'm active and I'm busy and I'm worth contacting. So those are just some things in your In Touch. And also, please make sure you've gone to your office info and that you are on your Eastern time zone. So I think most of them, for some reason, default to Pacific time zone, which could be a little problematic if someone's trying to reach you through the system. So just make sure that your information is correct. And again, images, we want to make sure that the professional photo that we have is in our In Touch. It's going to be the same one that we're going to put into Zillow, into realtor.com. And that every time someone sees me, they see this photo. However I feel about this photo, which we won't get into right now, this is the photo that you find, and I'm easily recognizable. So that when someone finds me on LinkedIn, they find me somewhere else, they know that I'm the same person. So you'll see here, as an example, we'll go into LinkedIn. Somebody finds me on LinkedIn, and here is the same photo, the exact same photo. So they know, oh yeah, this is the same person. So you'll see here, I have some videos. Speaking of LinkedIn, so you can go in and say, here's your about. So I have the exact same bio. I whittled it down a little bit to fit the character count. I have some dashboard information, and then I have all of my different experience working for, different real estate and where I went to school and different things. So a lot of times I'll hear people say, but nobody goes to LinkedIn. People will look you up and you will never even know it. This is also very true for social media. You will have people that follow you on a personal and a professional level. They will never like anything. They will never share anything. They will never comment on it, and they will never engage with you. And then later you'll see them somewhere and they'll make a comment. Oh, I like that thing you put on Facebook. I didn't even know that you saw it because you didn't engage with it. So just know that what you have out there, and you can see, like, I haven't really been big on LinkedIn. I don't post a lot, but I wanted to make sure that if somebody found me, they did find everything that I do and how I got my job. In my interview, they actually went to my LinkedIn and looked at this. So I was really happy that it was there. And from an agent perspective, that would be the same thing. It's kind of like people are interviewing you and you don't even know it. And they're going to go in and they're going to research you. And what are they going to find? If there's no face here, if there's no information, that does not help me to connect with you and see if I want to buy and sell real estate with you as well. So you are also able to go into brand serve as well, to find some different aspects and different things to put out if you do want to post on LinkedIn, etc. Facebook and Instagram, you're able to go into brand serve. So that is a different class, but we can also do that at one-on-one to show you how to do that. And there are some really great resources if you do want to post on LinkedIn and to use that to build your business a little bit further. Another thing that you're able to do is put a lovely profile on Zillow.com. So you see here, we do have the option to go in and find agents. So I don't want to go in and kind of pick on anybody necessarily, but I can tell you there are a few that I know off the top of my head that I go in. So Cecil has a very robust Zillow. You'll see that he has a member on his team. He has 33 years experience, but more than that, he has a little bit of information. And again, it doesn't have to be like mine was really super long. It can just be something short and sweet and to the point. He does have his listings connected, so you're able to put your license number in, your MLS identification in to your Zillow professional profile. It will connect automatically. And then you do have to go in and claim your sales. So that's the disconnect that I think a lot of agents have. You can see here he has 153 all time. He has to go in at settlement and actually claim these. And I will tell you, just from previous professional experience, the properties that we claimed immediately usually would come over with the property photo from the MLS. And those we waited a little bit. For some odd reason on Zillow, come through with this aerial snapshot from Google. So it doesn't really make a difference as long as you know, when you do sell something, make sure that you do put it on your Zillow page so that people can find that information as well. And then your ratings and reviews. So this seems to be an issue that agents come into frequently, whether you're just beginning in the business or you've been in the business for a while. How do I get Zillow reviews? And they've made it much easier now. In your professional page, you're able to go in and request the review directly from Zillow. There's also the opportunity to take that link and to copy it, in which case you can send it from your cbmove.com email. So that's the email that you're using to correspond with your clients already, something that they're more likely to open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to manage this expectation from the very beginning of the relationship. So I've just met with my client. We're signing our paperwork to list the home or signing our paperwork to go out and look for homes for sale. And this is where I'm going to let them know. Customer service is so essential to me. It's what I base my business on. You know, as a professional in the real estate industry, it's very important to me that I'm giving you 5-star service. If at any time I'm not giving you 5-star service, if that's not how you feel, please let me know, because that is my highest goal, is that at the end of this transaction, although our relationship's not over, I want to make sure that you're a very happy customer and that you've had a very good real estate experience. That is my main goal. Yes, it's to help you sell your home or to buy your home and all of those things, but I really want you to have a good experience. I'm going to remind them periodically throughout the transaction, are you still getting 5-star service? I just want to make sure. I want to make sure, you know, that we have good communication, et cetera, et cetera. What you're going to find is toward the end of that transaction, people are going to start coming to you. Hey, you needed that Zillow review. You've given me 5-star service. Can I write the review now? Yes, you can. Here's how. Go to this link. You can create a Zillow account. You can opt out of everything from Zillow because, of course, Zillow, we don't want to receive anything from them, but you can go in, and this is how you can help me build my business. That way I can help more people like you and give good service. So you can see Cecil has 17 reviews. So I would expect, no offense to Cecil, after 33 years, Cecil should probably have more reviews than this. And you'll see that most of these are very recent, and that's okay. What that tells me, and then Cecil in building his business has progressed. So maybe there was a time when he didn't get these reviews. Now, recently, he has started getting these reviews. So that's some way that he's building on his business. He's getting better in his business. And I'm still okay with calling him and saying, hey, you know what? I've noticed now, you know, you're kind of getting with the times. Maybe before you weren't very virtual, but now you're starting to use these more. And you'll also see if you're on a team, it will give the review for the member of that team as well. What you're able then to do to build your profile even further is I can then go to my Zillow. I can take this information, I can copy it, and just use it on my InTouch website. So you'll see here we were in InTouch before. I can go up to my InTouch. I can click on my website. I can click on my edit site. And over here on the left-hand side under the content menu, you will see testimonials. I can add testimonials here. So I can add from here. I can literally just paste that in. Who was the client? So I'll just say it was Cecil, and he was my client. Now, feel free, especially if you don't have a lot of experience, maybe you don't already have a lot of these testimonials, to ask family, friends, colleagues, those affiliates that you work with, those home inspectors and title officers and lenders that you're recommending people use, have them recommend you as well in the form of a recommendation on your website. So these don't all have to come from Zillow. You'll see here I have quite a few. None of mine have come from Zillow. But this is a way that I can go in and I can save that and it will be a part of my website. Now, let's say I've put that in there. Maybe I've noticed I've put one in twice or I have a typo. I can also go out and take them out. Maybe you only want to have a certain amount or the most recent. Again, completely up to you how you run it. It is your business. But I can also delete them. Just know that once I have deleted that, it is gone forever. So I can go back and retype it, but there's no trash can here for me to go back in to do that with. So again, I also highly recommend if you do this, that at the very, very end, maybe you include in parentheses, Zillow 5-star review. That just lets somebody know that that did come from a certain place. It's not anything that I've just kind of made up in my mind and written down, because there are lots of nice things I'd like to tell you people have said about me, but that doesn't make them true. So when I come to your website and I see that these are some Zillow reviews, I can then go find you on Zillow and I can see, yes, here they are. Realtor.com also has something very similar as well, where you can get not only reviews, which are anybody that's actually worked with you to buy or sell or rent a home, but you can actually get recommendations as well. So we'll go in and I'll show you. I'm pretty sure that Cecil has, well, that was not correct. So Cecil, I'm pretty sure, has his as well. Actually, I'll show you a really good agent. So here we'll find realtors at the top, and I'm going to look for, and hopefully his is accurate. I'm going to look for Jeremy Martin. So here you can see Jeremy Martin with Coldwell Banker, and he does use the site. So you'll see here he's got a picture with his team. He's got a very short bio. He has a lot of areas that he serves. So these are areas that you would input. Same with Zillow. So you can take charge of that narrative. If you service every single place in Harford County, you would just label them all out. And again, these are just some areas you serve, not exhaustive. We know sometimes we'll travel anywhere if the price is right. He's got some team information here. So he does have his team listed. He has 158 listings of all time. So, he does have some here that are off market. Why is this important? This shows your marketing skills, especially if you're using listing concierge, especially if you have professional photos. It's really important to put that information out. I can go through and look at some of the things that Jeremy has listed before. I can see, what do his photos look like? So here he worked with a buyer, here he sold. So I can go through and see some of those things. And then ratings and reviews, he doesn't have any yet. And then recommendations, he doesn't have any yet. So that's something where he could grow on his digital profile and his footprint to ask people that he's worked with, can you write me a review? And then maybe some recommendations. So anybody that's had any experience. This is also where I would caution you to be careful in your professional life as you meet and deal with people. These are resources where I can go here and I can write a recommendation for Jeremy. If I had a really bad experience, I can write that here. I can write that on a Facebook business page. I can write that in a Zillow review to say, I've worked with this person and this is what happened. And I've worked with agents where that has happened. But the more reviews that you get, if you have, again, 75 reviews and 70 of them are great and 5 of them are disgruntled people, who are people really going to listen to? It's kind of like when you go to Amazon and you order something. I always see people that give something 1 star. That doesn't mean that the product isn't good. If, 7,000 people have given it rave reviews and like 50 people don't like it, maybe that has something more to do with those people than it does with the product. So again, just be aware that people can access you this way. They can go in, and again, you can get those ratings and reviews on realtor.com as well. And homes.com, again, you can also have a profile on homes.com as well. I don't think that this one is as utilized, but it is still out there. And you'll see here, I'm just going to type in the area and I'm going to find a bunch of agents. And I do think that this kind of juggles it around a little bit. So the more information that you have, the more likely it is that homes.com is going to spit you out when somebody looks for that information.
So Angie, on homes.com, where you just showed that, the agents where it said preferred, are those agents that pay for a particular status with them?
Yeah, so these are all agents that pay. And I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those people that I'm probably not going to call any of these people just because they paid for this. It doesn't mean that they're the best. These are the most active. Maybe they have the most endorsements. So here you can see these agents have gotten a lot of endorsements from people that they have worked with. That could be clients that they've worked with. It could be colleagues that they've worked with. This is what I would look at for most endorsements, most active, most preferred. I don't care if you've paid for it, but if you have a lot of endorsements, so 20, you can see here 17, it doesn't take much to stick out. You can see here Joan Ryder only has 4 endorsements and they've pulled her up here. And there are pages and pages of these where people only have 1 endorsement. So again, I don't think that homes.com necessarily is the go-to, but if I can dominate homes.com, I can reference that on social media. Did you know that I have 20 endorsements, more than any other agent in my area on homes.com? Why would somebody not want to call you and sell and buy real estate with you? It makes you look uber professional and you're very polished. So I won't tell you which agent on here was my agent, but some of these are a direct result of me. So I'm a little happy to see that, even though I don't work with this person anymore. So that is definitely a different way to build that. And I would be remiss if I did not show you, as we end with our time together, that when you go into Desk, there is a marketing tab here. There's also a My Business tab. So you can get into marketing, you can get into social media, and there are adding and managing your Facebook business pages and first steps with Facebook. So we didn't really get into it too much, but as you go onto Facebook, you do want to make sure that you have a business page, that when someone finds your business page, you'll see here now I have the new Facebook. When someone finds you on your business page, that you have some more additional information that people can find. So you can see I have my about. It's all complete. People can get in there. They can find my website. They can call me on my office number, because we know the real estate commission does say if we only have room for 1 phone number, it must be our office number. But guess what? I have an email here. And really, I think most people are going to click on that website. So my cell phone's on my website. They can go to my website. They can find me there as well. And then also under My Business, I highly recommend under the Education tab, there are our former virtual education expos. So there are some past presentations. They are in order of most recent, back all the way, I believe, to May. Yeah, so you'll see here, and actually in March, so I lied. But how do I market in a virtual world? Secrets from social media influencers. And I can guarantee you that these social media influencers have very robust profiles when you look them up on Instagram and Facebook, and then you go and find them on Zillow or LinkedIn or any of those places. I'm not going to see any of these major influencers with no profile or no face. They're going to have that information there. Also, you will find a 4-part series here on Facebook, how to get started, how to use their tools, and some other great things as well, how to create a digital marketing strategy. And that's really where your digital footprint comes into play. So you can learn how to online market. It's more than just boosting a post on Facebook. So it definitely gives you a lot of information. I will tell you, anything that comes from Facebook down here came directly from Facebook. Coldwell Banker hosted it, but we had someone from Facebook that taught those classes. Really great information. And again, here, tips and tricks on how to best market yourself as well as your listings. And again, that all starts with our digital footprint. We want to make sure that we have great profiles. We have a very good bio, that when someone meets us, who are they meeting online? Are they meeting the true representation of ourselves? Because legally that's what we have to put out there. But more so, how are we engaging with people? And when they find us, what information are they finding? Are we consistent? Are we compliant? And do we have a robust social media, and Zillow and Realtor.com and all of the places that they can find us? Because how heartbreaking would it be that someone has looked us up and found us when that gardening friend said, hey, you have to call Ben, and they looked Ben up and didn't find anything, so they just moved on. And those are the things we may never hear of. But I would rather somebody recommend me, someone's able to easily access my information, and then they call me and we can do some business together. Because ultimately, I feel that I would represent them the best. I would give them the best service. And that's what I want for all of my clients. So does anybody have any questions?
Just to circle back to getting testimonials, I mean, clearly we don't want to ask people to go to multiple sites and give reviews. So, I mean, it sounds like Zillow is really the place, or the best place anyway, to do that. And then you can, like you said, copy and paste that over to to your CB. But when it comes to other sites like Realtor.com or Homes, if we want people to put reviews on those as well, and we would need to ask them or send them links to say, hey, if you're going to do a review, if you could do it, these 2 places or whatever. I mean, is that what people do?
So yeah, I'll be honest with you. I kind of got a little geeky there for a minute with Homes.com to see that one of those agents that was at the very top was an agent that I worked with. And that was my job, was to get these reviews. So I've done this, and to manage that expectation from the beginning that, we do maintain a few sites where we put our business out, and you really help us to build our business. And really, if we've given really great service to somebody, they almost they want other people to find us. We've had clients that have said, I don't want anyone to use anybody in real estate but you, because I know that they'll have a good experience. I know they're not going to get ripped off. I know that they're not going to have, a bad time of it. You're going to represent their interest, and you're going to do it with authenticity and honesty, and you're trustworthy. And I'm like, fine, you know what? Can you do me a favor? And we manage that expectation that at the end of that transaction, when we get to the walkthrough, sometimes before that, we have a meeting. This is what we want to prepare you for settlement. Let's get together. So we get together and we go over, what do you need to bring for settlement? What is going to be expected? How does this look? How is it going to work? Especially now in a virtual world, when we're showing up to settlements and maybe the agent can't be with someone. My job is to make sure that I have full communication. I've prepared my client for every twist and turn. And in doing that, I can say, can we take a moment? And I'm already going to have all this stuff pulled up on my computer, on my tablet, whatever. I'm going to have it pulled up. So here's how we can set up a Zillow profile for you. Can you please go in and give me this review? And while you're at it, can we just add that to therealtor.com or to homes.com? And a lot of times, honestly, if you've given, like, I had a plumber that came in at the height of COVID and replaced my water heater. He was fantastic. I'm more than happy to go to 20 sites if that's what it takes and let people know, please call this plumber. Like, please call him. He is wonderful. He did a great job. He did not overcharge me. Like, it was just a great experience. And I've had too many friends that have had plumbing catastrophes based on the person that they used. So even as a consumer, how would we reflect on that? If we've gotten really terrific service from someone, it's really not anything on me to take 5 or 10 minutes and go in and literally just maybe even copy and paste the same review. And I think also it's managing that expectation from the beginning. If you haven't said anything to me and we've had this whole experience, and at the very end, you're like, hey, can you leave me a review here, here, and here? I might think you're a little nuts. But if in the beginning you're like, look, I really want to earn your time, your 5 or 10 minutes to do this. I want to give you the best service. People I find are usually very happy to acquiesce with that, to give that request to us and go in and fulfill that for us. You're always going to get those people that are going to tell you no. It's just going to happen. That's why I found that you can also, I keep forgetting this because it is relatively new. You can sync your .loop account with your Zillow, your professional Zillow account, and you can request a review directly from .loop as well. I like that option because I'm already sending people stuff in .loop, and my clients know that when they get something from .loop, they have to fill it out, right? Because they have to fill out the paperwork for the listing. They have to fill out the paperwork for the, buying a home. It's just one more piece of information. When I'm requesting that review, it comes through in one fluid motion, so that I've already gotten them to do that Zillow review. And then maybe when we meet for settlement, or again, I like to do that walkthrough because it's not all that excitement of the settlement table where I might not be allowed to sit right now. But when I'm doing that walkthrough saying, hey, I know that you just gave me that Zillow review. Would you mind, maybe just, putting that on realtor.com or homes.com. And again, some of those recommendations are going to be from other people. So Zillow, those reviews are just people that have worked with you. But, sometimes we have colleagues, we have a team of experts, so to speak, that we work with. I have multiple lenders in my pocket, so to speak. I have multiple home inspectors or pest control and things of that nature, termite inspectors that in my years in the business and the people that I've worked with, that I could shout their name out right now. And if any of them called me, I would gladly write them a review. So that's an additional way to get that as well. Reach out to the people that you're referring your clients to and say, you know what, let's help build each other's businesses. Could you write me a review that I can use on my website? Could you leave that for me on realtor.com, or could you leave that for me on homes.com? Where's somewhere that I could go to do the same for you as well? So just food for thought. I think managing the expectation is really what it boils down to. So does anybody else have any other questions? So I have recorded the meeting. I will stop the recording now. Just